Hello YouTube, this is Nite Misfortune bringing you yet another replay from the Supreme Commander 2 game. This one has been submitted by a good friend of mine for replays of the week on my Discord server, which again, you can submit your replays for consideration for replay of the week at any time on my Nite Misfortune Discord server under the Supreme Commander 2 subsection. Before we get into this replay, I do have to say, though, that, first of all, I have no idea what's going to be happening in this game. I didn't even know this was a 2v2. I haven't really watched it, but I trust my good old friend, Mr. Gurl, for a good game, as always. And go ahead and check his channel out. He's a really great caster that I'm sure most of you guys know already, but if you don't, go ahead and give him a subscribe and a like, as well as my channel if you enjoy this video at the end. Another thing is, I'm sure you have noticed that if you're a follower of my channel, that I have not made a recording of Supreme Commander 2 in a long time. I have pretty much disappeared since the last tournament. In fact, I haven't even posted anything from the last tournament yet, except for the group stages. So I have quite a bit of catching up to do. I have 2 submitted replays that I'm going to be casting that are not really tournament related. I have 2 games that I need to cast for the tournament that happened almost a month ago. And then 3 games that just need to be 5 games that need to be posted. I don't need to cast, just need to be uploaded. And then 2 league rounds that have happened in the past, time that I've been a little bit away. So there's going to be very close to 14 games that I'm going to be posting over the course of the next 2 weeks. So look out for a video pretty much every day for the rest of, the next 2 weeks. So quite exciting. Hopefully I will manage to do so. I don't really see a reason why I wouldn't. So I do follow me for that and hit that bell icon to get notified when I post those videos. And yeah, the reason for that really is I've been moving. I've been without internet for part of the time, and I just needed a break, to be honest. July just was completely insane, as you can probably see from my Twitch and from my YouTube channel, full of Supreme Commander 2, just completely ridiculous. So hopefully you guys have, had enough for that to kind of have a little bit of a break. And of course, Mr. Steal Girl has been making his own videos in the spare time anyway. So I think you guys are getting enough content, but I'm going to be back, of course, with Supreme Commander 2 for sure. I'm also doing some Lego Star Wars, and I'm thinking of adding another game that I'm just going to be playing by myself, and maybe continuing StarCraft. Still just trying to figure out what I kind of want to do. Like I said, July was crazy. I was doing a bunch of things, and I'm not sure I'm going to be doing the same things outside of Supreme Commander 2. So, just check the channel out in the upcoming weeks, and you should be all good. Also check out my Discord, of course, to see some of the projects that I'm kind of working on over there. So let's go ahead and jump into this game. So this is, again, was submitted by Mr. Steal Your Girl, and this is a 2v2 match. So let's go ahead and unpause in 3, 2, 1. I don't know why I say that, because you guys don't have this replay anyway. So let's go ahead and, well, I guess you can access it through other means, but regardless, let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with the players on the left. We're going to call this the left team. This is AA/HOU, which I have no idea what HOU is, because Fartuna has so many tags. And of course, I already mentioned his name. It is our red UEF commander with the name of Fartuna, who we know and love from the leagues. And in fact, he's been playing every single tournament. One of only 2 players has played every single tournament so far. And I'm sure that we'll be seeing him in the Invitational that's coming in December, which, again, if you don't know, will be a huge tournament. Not in size, but in scale of the players and the quality of players. It's going to be the top of the top. Super excited for that. His teammate is going to be our white Aeon commander with the name of Frost. He has spawned with 2 air factories, Looks like both of these players are going air, so this will be interesting. Let's go ahead and check out their opponents. Frost is actually, I will say about Frost, he's quite a good player. I've played a couple of games against him, and he's pretty good. And I believe he's actually... Oh no, this is not the same Frost, sorry. He's still a good player, but it wasn't who I was thinking of originally. Anyway, their opponents is the... What color is this? Blue? Yes, blue. Blue AN commander with the name of Erza. Now, Erza, I don't really know who that is, but his teammate is very familiar to us all. It is the one and only, the god, the poppy, the supreme admin. The names really go on and on for this man. It is, of course, Mr. Gurl, spawning in his signature teal color. And I'm a bit surprised that he's Aeon. He's been playing a lot of Cyber, at least against me and some other 1v1s that I've seen. But Aeon is, of course, a balanced faction, as we all know. There is a very good air engagement happening while we've been introducing our players. And it looks like it's fairly even, to be completely honest. White has won, red has won. Actually, no. The left team manages to come out on top here and is going to probably take the air quite comfortably, of course, because they are 2 versus 1, 1 UEF, and of course the Aeon is going to be very hard to overcome with just one Aeon player. Mr. Gurl doing the correct thing here, grabbing those Harvogs, probably going to be going for the anti-air upgrade. He doesn't have it just yet by the looks of it, but of course he's being a little smart and waiting to get that upgrade so that he can catch his opponents off guard. However, if his opponents are, decent players, so they should be able to know what's coming if they see Harvogs, which is really the reason why you get Harvogs, is to get AA. It's a very strong unit, especially in team games, especially on maps like this with a bunch of choke points, where you can really help your opponent engage in air quite a bit. Now, this I'm not really agreeing, since he doesn't have enough mass for this anyway. It is a little bit better to just keep going with your commander and just get it as far as possible, because their opponents both have gone air, so it is very safe to assume there's no ground at this point, and you just want to push out your opponents. And as well as this land force right here, it could be pushing a little bit farther. Now, Erza is being very, very smart here and assisting his commander, but the problem is both of them have really expanded here with mass extractors and their engineers, and at this point, of course, the air advantage of our left team is going to provide quite a bit of a mass advantage, shutting down and taking out these mass extractors and shutting down any future expansions. Finally, our right team is advancing with both of their commanders and the crazy amount of Harvog. Still no anti-air, still saving that. Pretty smart. Not gonna lie here. Still no anti-air. It looks like there's one anti-air on this factory here, so there's not much anti-air protection here. Not sure what this blue commander is doing here. They should all be going forward. I think Mr. Gurl is trying to split his units as best as possible, but honestly, 3 bots is not going to do a whole lot. There's the anti-air upgrade on the Harvogs. Very nice split, but White is not going for the Harvogs at this point. He's actually going for those anti-air, which gives Blue a very good engagement. He comes in and manages to pick out quite a bit of Blue's Vidubos here, and of course that red finally comes in and engages, and that's going to be a quick end to Blue's air. But the Harvogs are still alive. There was a ping here on the radar. Mr. Gurl, or maybe Blue, was probably wanting to take that out, but honestly at this point it's not hugely important, because both the ACUs, everything is happening here. There's enough radar coverage from the ACUs and the engineers to really have a really good idea of what is happening, so not really a huge high value target here for our right team to take out that radar. Very nice play by Mr. Gurl, bringing the MML forward. It's going to try and take out this mass extractor. Of course, this radar is not going to be able to be taken out because I might not be right, actually. Sometimes the positioning here prevents the mobile missile launcher from launching over here, but apparently maybe it's because it was at a slant a little bit. He was able to launch. I think the earlier shots missed, and then once he got a little bit here, allowed the missiles to actually fire over. Now we are transitioning into the PD creep, which is going to be very, very nasty to stop, especially because White's bomber count is actually fairly dwindling here. Mr. Studio Girl is doing a nice job continuing to split the units. Only 2 Harvogs are getting bombed, and even those 2 have been split fairly well here. And Red is nowhere to be found. Of course, there's no targets for Red. There's gunships coming out now for Fartuna, and that's not going to be enough here in enough time because their opponents are already there. I think he could have stopped the Wasp production a little bit earlier there to start either bomber or gunship production. That would have helped quite a bit there. But a very nice push here by the right team, and I think this is enough here because everything is falling for our left team. There's not enough ground firing forces to take this army out, and there's not going to be enough built to really take this out in the next 2 minutes, I want to say. So this is going to be very, very hard to stop here. It looks like Frost is marching. Actually, so this is a very smart idea. Frost realizing that this is pretty much doom for the left team. He's going to sacrifice himself and going to try to take out as many of these Harvogs as possible. Actually control Kang there. Very smart decision. Is going to give Fartuna an opportunity to come in here with his gunships, and of course all the Harvogs have fallen. Mr. Steel Girl has not really paid attention to try and get them out. There's an anti-air station coming out here, but of course these gunships already have shields. No, these Wasps look like they might have had shields, but there's simply not enough gunships here, and the gunships aren't prioritizing this anti-air. Erza is at half health here, and if there might be a snipe here. There's not a whole lot of anti-air. It is focusing on his gunships, but look at the rate of damage here. It's really nothing here. And there's so much anti-air here. Erza, if he is gonna get healed by Mr. Steal Your Girl, and oh my goodness, so perfect here from our Big Daddy Overlord of Supreme Commander 2. The new Chris Taylor here, everybody. Mr. Steel Girl doing a wonderful job. A new Harvogs arrive with a bunch of mobile missile launchers, so this is going to be very, very nasty, and there is no second detonation available. However, there isn't as much units now, and there is now there's quite a bit of gunships here. Erza is going to get healed a little bit, but the problem is he's taking missile launcher fire from these air factories. Very good job from Fartuna, realizing that there's all these anti-air stations. He's going to try and pick them off, but unfortunately you can't target fire with these add-ons, which is the unfortunate bit, and I think they do prioritize the commander in a lot of cases, I believe. Yeah, you see one of these which is probably in range of the commander, targeting the commander, and the other one targeting down the anti-air factory. So it looks like, yeah, definitely the split target fire is kind of nasty and kind of lucky, if we're being honest, for our right team here. Their gunships are coming in and gonna go back all the way down. The window for Fartuna, well, I don't want to say the window is closing, because with gunships it is always a possibility of a snipe, especially if you have a lot. But the right team is keeping up with their anti-air production, and it is going to be very close, even building a forward land factory for that added shield coverage protection. So this is going to be very, very hard to stop, especially because Mr. Steely Girl is staying on top of this pressure and using these mobile missile launchers to at least take out this forward air factory here. Looks like the gunships will come in here, will no doubt pick off all of these mobile missile launchers. Would be a very nice thing for Fartuna to try and split fire on these units. Oh, shields coming out for Fartuna. Now that is a whole different story here. Of course, the shields are even better here. Shield coming out on the factory for Mr. Studio Girl is going to add an added coverage protection from the snipe. Oh my goodness, and Fartuna manages to take out most of those mobile missile launchers, losing only one air factory, rebuilding on the wreck. Beautiful. And as Erza has restarted his air production, I would have probably done so a little bit sooner, and I would have probably started expanding a little bit sooner as well. So that is definitely going to hurt our right team a little bit here, because Wasps or Weedables could have provided sufficient protection for this advancement here. There's a 6th air factory coming out now, and that is going to be very, very difficult. There's a significant amount of gunships at this point, significant amount of anti-air for our right team, but we all know gunships, especially with shields, it is just so difficult. I wouldn't be sticking around here, Fartuna. With this type of composition, with this many Harvogs, you really have to either go for the commanders or just back off, and it looks like he does do so indeed. There's a very nice expansion for Fartuna. It's another thing that the right team could be doing a little bit better, and it looks like these bombers are going to end up coming over here and starting to bombard some of this mass, which is definitely a very smart decision. Double shield here for our right team, very, very good. But this count of bombers, or gunships rather, is growing rather large here. Fartuna continuing to really think what he wants to do. And Blue's air is staying relatively close to that. I'll give Erza props for that. Doing a very, very nice job here. Trying to protect this advancement. A lot of anti-air coming out. A lot of anti-air coming out. Even upgrades on these factories. However, they are building them in range of these missile launchers, which Fartuna has upgraded. Nope, half of his factories. Look at that, 7th air factory coming out already. That's the mass production that the right team has allowed them to acquire, or him rather. And it looks like Fartuna has had enough. He's going to try and go for a snipe. Who will be the first target? Mr. Steal Your Girl will be the first target. Let's see if he has Hawker. He is taking quite a bit of damage here. Oh my goodness, getting repaired by Erza. This is going to be very, very close. There's a lot of gunships still remaining. However, they are getting picked off by all sorts of fires. The anti-air, the gunships, the Weedables and the Harvogs. Mr. Stealer Girl is in red, 5,000, but unfortunately, there is just not enough of gunships. Only 2 remaining. The last one does fall, and Mr. Stealer Girl remains with just under 4,000 life there. That was ridiculously close, and at this point, there's simply nothing Fartuna can do to finish this here. The only chance he has, if these lonely 5 bombers or 5 gunships can take out the rest of Mr. Stealer Girl's health, but that is not going to happen. Very nice heal by Erza. If he did not heal Mr. Stealer Girl there, it would have definitely been a loss for him, or for the right team rather. Very good decision, and very good decision by Mr. Steal Your Girl. You know, oftentimes players do want to move their commander between these shields, and I think the shields wouldn't have been enough to protect him for sure. So the healing was really, really good, and definitely the right choice to do here. Wonderful game from all players. Wonderful decision making by Frost and by Fartuna. Really everybody. Is just it's kind of hard to play against double Aeon with double air. These Harvogs are pretty good, so there was absolutely no land. At least one land factory from Frost was necessary to have any kind of chance, or maybe for Fartuna to stop this advancement. They were never gonna both live through this advancement of Harvogs. So, you know, interesting strategy, definitely viable. Just have to have a little bit more of a long-term plan with that. And definitely a great game. Good job. I think Erza definitely made some very nice plays, and of course Mr. Steal Your Girl, very good game. Thank you everybody very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a like, and of course, again, as always, subscribe to myself and Mr. Steal Your Girl if you haven't so already. And I will see you very, very soon, probably tomorrow, for the next video. Thank you very much, and I, again, see you soon.